bond that we share with our seniors. It's not like a hostel where we don't even know who exists in our neighborhood, but here we know each and every person by their name, by department and everything. So it is something, the bond, that makes us feel like it's a home, not like a hostel or something different. That is one thing that unique. And then the freedom that we have here, maybe creative freedom or whatever freedom, it's not like we are confined within this place. We are allowed to go out from 6 to 7 or 7:30. We can expose us to the exposing ourselves to experience Chennai and everything. Definitely hall life has shaped my identity. It taught me how to handle some difficult situations, how to even talk to people, how to communicate to officials and everything. It has even taught me to travel all the way from my home to here. Lot of experiences has shaped me.
Unique thing is hall is like it was ruled by the not by the adults or warden is also there, probably she's there, but it is mostly ruled by the girls, the people from ourselves, in the same age we are ruled by them, and if we have some problems we can share with them easily, and it's not like we go to the warden directly. We can approach our cabinets in our batch or our seniors. So I think it makes hall life a unique thing. I think none of the hall have such facilities like this, and only the Madras Christian College halls has such facilities.
What is unique about the hall is the fact that everybody living here knows each other, not just by name, but what they're studying, at least basic things like what they're studying and where they're from, and which year they are in college, which is not really how other hostels, other people might not know even these things about their co-residents. And how has it shaped my identity? It's given me a good skills at multitasking, because there are a lot of things that happen here year long, and whether you like it or not is another story, but you eventually learn to balance everything happening here along with other things happening in class and your personal life outside both your place of residence and class.
What makes hall life unique is obviously the traditions that we have. MCC in itself is filled with all these sort of traditions where there's a senior, junior training culture. I mean, it is in certain respects taken to an extreme that is not really ideal. But for me, I'm from the women's hall obviously, and in certain times it did used to be hard when I was in my UG, but it definitely did shape my identity and give me a lot of experiences.
Okay, the rules and traditions in halls that exist today actually brings hierarchy among people, but the reason that was brought up was not for this purpose. It was to create the bond between people. I feel like the traditions that we are now following is just blindly we are following it without knowing what the purpose is. It is definitely creating a hierarchy. The purpose is lost. It's just tradition for the namesake, that's all.
When we take the traditions or sometimes at the initial stage it will be hectic for the peoples or freshers or whoever it's me. Maybe they may be bold, but when it comes under traditions, the initial stage they will be hectic and they'll feel so bad for that, and it will be sometimes hierarchical also it will be. But after finishing that, they will feel the benefits of that. Like in halls also we have the initiations. At the beginning stage you'll be so afraid to how you are going to speak before such a big crowd, how you are going to shout before them. But after finishing everything, automatically a braveness, a strong voice will be built inside ourselves. So it goes on, we will feel the benefits of that later, in our futures. After we finishing this college life, and when we are looking back through all the past we passed, it will give us a good memories, what a whole life we have lived. So it will be benefit for us.
Hall traditions are meant to bring people together, and there are a lot of hall traditions like hall day and probably the initiation where individual batches in the hall are concerned. These things do bring people together, But somewhere down the line, hall traditions outside of the hall space, as in the college space, do create hierarchies. In MCC, there is a huge hall, non-hall binary where even regular residents in the hall do develop a sense of power high because they have 24/7 access to the campus. And other cases where the cabinets are given a lot of power and authority within the college setup in MCC. That I feel does create hierarchies, and even within halls there is a very strong junior senior hierarchy because there is designated work that designated people in the hall do, depending on which batch you're in.
I think traditions do both. So there are two factors to traditions. Like, I mean, if it's a good-natured senior who knows what can distinguish between what is right and what is wrong, the hierarchical aspect of whatever takes place would be low. But then there is also, it is also like a sort of an automated system where you learn from what happened in the past, and you do tend to think what is right with respect to what happened in the past. So it is for most part dependent on the nature of the seniors and how self-aware the students are.
I've never questioned about the traditions that exist in a hall because I feel those traditions, those practices are needed for a person who comes out of school, straight out of school to face the society. They need to know how the society actually works, how it will be to work along with people, where there really exists hierarchy in the society. It is nothing new, I would say. So those traditions never bothered me. I liked following it, and then they did shape people, and it is shaping people.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone who are new to the halls, they will be questioning this. Like, why? Like, initially, first the thing they have to do is the initiation.
Yeah.
So, initiation, yeah, they have question like, why do you want to study all this thing? Why do you want to study about this hall? Like, it will create more questions like, why do you want to study? Why do you want to say these answers to them? Why do you want to spend a lot of time at these things? But now it seems
I have questioned hall traditions because at the end of the day, I feel like the hall, people in the hall have, and people, the authorities in the hall have this very unspoken rule. But if you're a hall resident, you cannot really have a life outside of a hall. I'm sorry, that was a very strong way of putting it, but you are seen as, you are looked down upon if you prioritize other things over the hall, even if it's something as serious as academics, which is a little problematic. And even within the hall, traditions are fine, but once they start cutting into things you would like to do outside of the hall, basic matters, like sometimes it gets to the point where you cannot, where as a first year and second year, it cuts into your sleep and bathing hours, which gets extremely problematic. The hall traditions, the ones that unite everybody, are great, but then sometimes when they are taken too seriously or taken overboard, they after a point should be curbed.
Yeah, so traditions, I don't know. When I was in UG, it was something that I enjoyed, but I do hear a lot of other perspectives from a lot of other people, and it is undeniable that in some ways it is very problematic. But for me personally, I don't know, it is just something that I am inclined to, but I do understand if it is not the same for everyone else, and if they want to focus, especially if it is very imperative for them to focus only on studies. People come from all sorts of difficult backgrounds and stuff like that, and it is a matter of a personal opinion that if you don't want to go through something, you don't want to go through something at the end of the day.